But then I always tell them, never give an Indian a microphone and an audience. It's impossible to get them off of the stage. This is why Mr. Speed is that. There are people I want to die, I don't want to listen to them. That's what people we have to listen to them. Now, you guys probably heard about Samina. Now, here is from the horse's mouth, the fellow who did it all, me. Kerala, left the country a year after my degree in pharmacy was taken. 1 year. Had the opportunity to go to Middle East. For reasons unknown to me, and even at that time I said, I'll do my postgraduate. Now remember, I was brought up by my mother, who I still consider the best man for the job is a woman. Raised me so well. I spent a lot of her money going to college. So, when I got my own job, the first thing I do was I'm going abroad. Everybody thought I would go to Kuwait or somewhere in Saudi or somewhere in Middle East. With a name like mine, Muhammad, I belong to Middle East. But I said, I am going to America. And I did. In those days, it was very simple. All you have to do is show up yourself at the American embassy. They will give you a cup of coffee. I am talking 1975. They will explain to you how to get your visa and go to US. Trust me, other than Kerala fellows like me, most other people came from Gujarat. I don't know which one has come from. Kerala or Gujarat. But we both are there. In America. Landed there with a green card, but in 2 years, I went back to school, did my master's, did my PhD, along the way, quite a bit of experience in the pharma area. I actually did not get into natural products or Ayurveda. 88, I left to start generic business. I was absolutely way ahead of my time. Then I realized India has a lot of natural wealth. India exports 3 items at that time, back in 1988. Psyllium, senna, castor seed. These were the 3 items. All 3 are meant for laxatives. All these 3 products have one thing in common. They were all used as laxatives. Psyllium also comes from this part of the world. And senna comes from the south. Castor oil throughout the country. Then I realized India is a giant, especially with the Ayurvedic armamentarium. 100 plus herbs. And thousands of years of history. So I looked at it, studied. And I was able to present, starting with Google it. My first part for the US market. At that time, Americans couldn't spell Ayurveda, nor could they pronounce it properly. Then I added to the confusion with the word Google. See, for the Indian, the word Google comes automatically, very natural. But for an American to say Google, climbing Mount Everest is easy. Very easy. It's very difficult for them. But over the years, I have been a stake on a lot of people. But for the first 5 years, 90 to 95, 1990 I licensed the first product from Cipla called the Google. A lot of scientific documentation, all kinds of causes history. Now we can say what is in Ayurveda is safe and sound. Not necessarily, because when Ayurveda was really practiced, I use that word really in quotation mark. The real practice of Ayurveda is not the one the Ayurveda we are used to today. Today, we are in industrial Ayurveda. Today, we are in commercial Ayurveda. The real Ayurveda was when the Ayurvedic physician cultivated the herbs. He went and plucked the leaves at the right time, or took the roots at the right time, make the concoction according to the test. What I am saying applies not only to Ayurveda, to Siddha and Unani. Now, at that time, the word pesticide was not in the dictionary. But today it is there. And DDT was spread throughout India. Now that I export to US, I have to test for all these things and certify it is not there before I export it. Am I here? Partly by myself and partly it is coming through also. Or whole of it is coming through. Okay. Now, I was giving you the genesis of Sami and Sabinza. The first company I exported in the US is called Sabinza, named after my wife. The second company in 1991 in India, because I decided to make India my base. Because I need to get these things manufactured. I could contract manufacture. I said I will make the base. 92, 93 we set up the research unit also. Ever since we formed this business, we were very strong in research. There is no other company, other than Samilas that I know, spends 6 to 7% of our income into research. Don't take my word for it. It's public domain data. We are a deemed public company. You can get the documentation. Since 93, we have a DSIR approved research facility, and the R&D center at Bangalore is a PhD approved facility. We can conduct research to grant a PhD. So very state-of-the-art facility. I have no idea how many of you had visited us, but some of them who visited, have taken pictures, can share with you. In addition to that, Sami is very strong in intellectual property creation. Very strong. Today, I think somebody said 78 plus, but we are actually over 80. And by next year, we must cross 100 patent. That is not an easy task. And it is not based on our good looks. It is based on our intellectual property creation. It's not me. I have a lot of good people work for me. It is their contribution. But my name goes first because I created the scenario for them. I bring in some of the most talented kids from across the country. Give them the free hand. Give them the freedom. There is a saying within Sami, oh, if it is R&D, Dr. Majid will sanction it. It is always the case. Because somebody has an idea. Ideas must be given a chance. If it pays, it pays. But you should never think, man, I should have tried that. And even when I started the business also, I said, if I don't risk everything, I should never know whether I am good at it. Risk must be taken. Otherwise, you wouldn't know whether you would succeed. Yeah. The very fact that you are here to listen to me, that you are trying to assess, is this Joker's company any good? If it is good, maybe I want to do something with it. Simple as that. Yeah. Now, my job is here to tell you that I am good enough, that you can bet on me. I'm also straightforward. Very simple. Yeah. Built with integrity, built with hard work, built with a dedication and passion to do excellent work in whatever I do. My credit and success creating a few people like me who will work very hard, who will earn their wings, graduate here. And let's take the son of Gujarat, J.S. Patel. The fellow who brought him into the group is still there as a distributor, but he is in Chairman's Club. It is Chairman's Club. Note that I understand many of the people ask, how did J.S. make it there? Because his sales were absolutely phenomenal. How did he do it? Now he spent his own money, he has his own office, We need training all the time. We need training. So these are the kind of people that I can create, and they will create me. The people who work for me, directly or indirectly, I help to support them. That's all I do. I have a supporting role. Okay. Now, one of the most important things that I tell everywhere I go, you all heard about food security in India. Very important. We all need our food. Okay. Now, have you ever thought of herbal security? Must think about that, because the fundamentals of Ayurveda are two things. One, the way of life, how we live. That's the one fundamental, one leg. The second leg is the Ayurvedic treatments, which includes all these herbal items. Now, what is happening to all those herbal items? They are getting depleted. And I have a lot of good things to say about government of India, but today in India, government lists them as endangered species. Out of the 460, 380 of the medicinal plants of India are in the endangered species list. In other words, in the next 5 to 10 years, you will not have it. Simple as that. So, the fundamental of Ayurveda is losing ground. As a company and as a responsible company, we do our best to encourage and do the cultivation. I am limited with my language ability. I can speak English well, but not many understand English. So I am taking the help of people and tell them, I do it in Tamil Nadu, I do it in Andhra, I do it in 2-3 other states. We have it in Haryana. We do it in Philippines. And we are doing it in Africa now, both Kenya and Uganda. It is spread across the globe. Otherwise, we will be out of the medicinal plants of India. Today, I wouldn't say you cannot trust what you are getting as Ayurveda, Aristas and other things. But many products don't have the right ingredients go into them. They substitute them. They substitute them. They don't know whether the substituted material is the same as the other material. The original, what is in the test. So from that point of view, Ayurveda would lose its credibility and momentum. And hopefully, government will wake up. I told you in between that I have a lot of good things to say about government. Why do I do research and spend 6-7% of my income into research? This is the only place on earth I can spend money on research like that. Because government of India will give me a break, tax break. There are no other countries. They do, but they do very small. Government of India has a good thing going, encouraging research. And I think that's why a lot of the foreign guys also come here. Government has good schemes. Because at the end of the day, who does the service to the rest of the world in terms of IT? The boys out of Bangalore, boys and girls, and out of Mumbai, out of Gujarat. We do it for the rest of the world. Like I said before, never give an Indian a microphone and an audience. So, listen, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. थैंक यू। सबसे पहले आप लोगों का धन्यवाद। आप बड़े संयम से, बड़े धैर्य से हमें डॉक्टर मजीद को सुना। सही है। प्रोडक्ट के बारे में बात करी वो हिंदुस्तान में सबसे पहले आपके यहाँ लॉन्च किया गया। हालांकि इस प्रोडक्ट के बारे में सबसे पहले गोवा में जो लोग गए थे उनके साथ बात जरूर हुई थी। ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आज के डेट में अहमदाबाद में इस प्रोडक्ट का हुआ। यह प्रोडक्ट कल के डेट में आपके लिए अवेलेबल होगा। कल के डेट से ये प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल होगा, आप इसका ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं और ये अपने आप में एक प्रकार का इसे आप अमृत कह सकते हैं, फुल नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट। इसके बारे में डिटेल्स लिफलेट आपके पास पड़े, इसको आप पढ़ें और इसके साथ साथ वर्कशॉप भी आपके साथ कराए जाएंगे।
Good evening, Gujarat.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for the warm reception.
चालू छे नंबर जो हाँ છે ને
Yes. Good. Now, generally, the guys give me a chance to talk without the help of this PowerPoint presentation. I didn't realize this is actually my first visit to Ahmedabad on behalf of Sabila and Sabila.
Light me.
I take it for granted most of you know who we are and what we do as Sabila and what we do as Sabila. So I'm not getting into questions about that. And I will tell you why I'm here today. We are doing something for Gujarat. For the last couple of years, again, my CEO was after me saying, we must develop soft gelatin in vegetarian form. And wherever possible, we must go vegetarian. Otherwise, we will not make an impact in Gujarat. And so we have done it. And for the first time, for India, we are introducing vegetarian soft gelatin. Generally, soft gelatin is made from pork bones and it is considered for the muscles also. Anything for pork is not acceptable to the Muslim community and as well to a lot of vegetarians. But today we are being able to overcome that and for the first time in the history of India that we are providing a vegetarian soft gelatin. And to go with that, we have found a super nutrient, not just a nutrient that we are familiar with, very super nutrient. I think the title I have given for that means the supplement, all other supplements. Something like that.
Master supplement.
Yeah, master supplement. Is the handout being good to everybody today? Or you will be giving it
He'll be
later?
giving him.
Lycopene is available in tomato. It's available in watermelon. It's available in guava. But in microgram quantities, you don't get enough. But there is a source of lycopene which is about 70 plus times better than available in Vietnam. We are looking at that food in this picture. You can see it here. Because of that light, I cannot see what is on the screen there. Is that light needed? Right.
Hey, Shekhar, stop this light.
This light. And there is some problem with the speakers also. Check me here.
I will move around. I can see it now. Now, this is our.
Suggest.
We start cultivating it
Okay.
and then, and this is how it is. Now you can see the lady is looking at the fruit. This is an unripe fruit. Now when it is ripe, it is reddish in color. But that's not the color we are looking for. The color we are looking for is inside, covering the seeds. This has been around 3 years, but nobody found it or got it out of the country. I am only bringing this one now. I have made it a point to bring the cultivation of this item to India because we cannot use it. We cannot give it to everybody as here is the Lycopene capsule, we take it. But many people would like to cultivate this one. Do you know how these people use it in Vietnam? They mix this one with the rice. Cook the rice, mix the rice and eat it. Now I start the scientific part of the presentation. It's also known as baby jackfruit. It in fact looks like a small jackfruit. But inside is the goody material. Now, they call it gas. It contains two very important carotenoids. Not only lycopene, but beta-carotene also. We decided we will not separate them. Why? Because Mother Nature decides it that way. Why would I want to mess with that? It not only has lycopene and beta-carotene together, it also has a little bit of fatty acids that will make sure the lycopene and beta-carotene is absorbed properly. So it is made by nature, but not misused by man. That's the way we formulate it. Now, like I said before, it is there in tomatoes, carrots, watermelons, but in very small quantities. What is in Momonica, this particular species, is about 70 times more than what is available in tomato. And it is absorbed very well, and that has been clinically studied. Actually, the study was done in Vietnam children, 185 in number. Wherever there is a vitamin A deficiency, they give beta-carotene. So they looked at it as a source of beta-carotene and gave it to the children, and the data was published. Now, there are so many lifestyle variables that affects lycopene concentration in the body. As we get older, the lycopene level comes down. And if you are obese, the lycopene level comes down. If you are smoking, the lycopene level comes down. If liver disorders and if you consume alcohol, the lycopene level comes down. And lycopene is distributed in major organs in the body. For example, it is there in liver, it is there in kidney, then adrenal gland, testis, ovaries, and the prostate gland. This is the reason, the biological activity spectrum is the reason why we call it the master nutrient. It has activity in anti-cancer, benign prostate hyperplasia, cardiovascular support, antioxidant, useful in osteoporosis, male infertility, and skin health. Now, these are studies not based on animals. These are human clinical documentation in the last 30 years across the world. And you will see a sample of that now. The anti-cancer activity, especially esophageal cancer, studies were done in Iraq in 1979 and published. Lycopene consumption is associated with a 40% reduction in esophageal cancer. In case of gastric cancer, again, the higher the lycopene level, the lower the gastric cancer rate. Then comes the pancreatic cancer. Now today, for pancreatic cancer, there is no medicine. Now, on the reverse side, there are medicines coming through, the toxicity of which is far more than the effectiveness. But the data published in Journal of Nutrition says that there is a 51% reduction in pancreatic cancer risk.
I'm for it.
Major cancer.
Okay.
My sound is coming through okay. Is it? Or I'm only hearing myself? Huh?
Okay. Hello.
Okay. So what are these general issues?
Okay.
Now, with colorectal cancer is one of the major cancers that affects India. The consumption of lycopene has shown a 60% reduction in colorectal cancer. Again, this is based on publications of International Journal of Epidemiology and International Journal of Cancer. Again, prostate cancer. Frequent lycopene intake is associated with the reduced risk of prostate cancer. Again, prostate cancer, another study. This is the Journal of National Cancer Institute, an NIH body. What they are saying is, if there is a high level of lycopene in the body, the incidence of prostate cancer is reduced 35%, and when the cancer is very aggressive, it gets reduced by 53% by introduction of lycopene. In addition to that, there's a 26-month study with the 50 milligram per day. Lycopene for 3 weeks showed a significant decrease in prostate cancer compared to placebo. And again, in the treatment group, lycopene group had signs of regression and decreased malignancy. In summary, the results show all the epidemiological studies point to one fact: it reduces the level of prostate cancer. Now, let me go back and explain the word epidemiological. Epidemiological studies means you go into a state, for example, state Gujarat. You take 1,000 people from here and put one group on lycopene, another group not on lycopene, and follow them for 5 years. And you will see what are the incidents of cancer in the lycopene group and what are the incidents of cancer in the non-lycopene group. A study like that is called epidemiological study. They may do the same study in Andhra or in Maharashtra and compare whether which group did well and whether the lycopene group did well. So most epidemiological studies are large numbers of people, thousands in general. So that's actually very good data. You look at the history, the performance, and the effect, both in people who are taking Lycopene and not taking Lycopene. Benign prostate hyperplasia. In general language, we will say prostate enlargement. Lycopene plays a role in that. There is a decrease in the disease progression in patients with BPH. And they have shown a graph also. The indicator for this one is PSA level. In the case of Lycopene, this is the placebo treatment, this is the Lycopene treatment. The baseline data was small for Lycopene. Lycopene data went up, but PSA levels came down. Very clear, simple, straightforward graph. Again, another most important area where they find for this item is cardiovascular support. In the prevention of atherosclerosis and cardiovascular diseases. And let's look at what is the documentation they have. And this information was published in American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Uramic study. There are 10 states in Europe who did the epidemiological study and from which they took out 662 patients and looked at how did Lycopene help them. The results show that Lycopene is contributing to the protective effect on the myocardial infarction risk, one of the major cardiovascular diseases. Myocardial infarction will give rise to all other problems. So one of the basic disease in cardiovascular disease is controlled by Lycopene. High doses of Lycopene. Although this is a clinical study, I personally do not recommend anybody takes 60 milligrams every day. 15 milligrams is okay. Let's do it, but let us not overdo it. Because I come from a background, the last 38 years being in the US, one thing I learned in the nutraceutical industry was, if one is good, 10 is better. What they don't realize is, one is good, you are okay, you are lucky. But if you take 10, you don't know the side effects of that one. Most of the studies are done with 1 or 2 doses. Now you take 4 times or 6 times and 10 times, you jeopardize your health. So the ideal thing is, go slow on some of these things. Don't go to 60 milligrams. But it's an interesting study. And LDL, there are 4 types of lipids we have. Good cholesterol, that's called HDL. Bad cholesterol, LDL. And the ugly cholesterol, called the VLDL. Now there is the 4th one, called the deadly cholesterol, lipoprotein A. So the bad cholesterol can be managed by Lycopene, but at 60 milligrams, we don't need that. We are looking for preventive, not for treatment. So 15 milligrams is okay. Now, the reason I put this journal article is, I found that very informative. I said, if the summit people are interested, we must print this one out from after getting the publisher's permission and give it to the people. The material is an antioxidant. But then you see the term antioxidant with everything and its brothers. Everything is an antioxidant. So some of them does good, some of them we don't know what they do. So you have to distinguish what is good for you. Here's another study they did in a 12 milligram Lycopene or a mixture of Lycopene, lutein, and beta-carotene. And they found the oxidative DNA damage has been reduced. Interestingly, every one of the presentations that I am making here is all based on human data. Absolutely nothing in this one is based on animal data. Now comes something that a lot of people worry about, osteoporosis. Lycopene helps in osteoporosis. How does it help? 2-3 terms I am going to throw at you. Osteoclast, osteoblast. Osteoclast takes a little bit of the bone out. Osteoblast rebuilds them. So it is the balance between the two. Or slowing down the osteoclast. And that's what lycopene does. When it slows down the osteoclast, your bone absorption, or the rate at which you lose the bone, is reduced a little bit while the building process is going on. Higher serum lycopene is associated with lower bone resorption. Again, it helps in the treatment and prevention of osteoporosis. But again, at a reasonable dose like 15 milligrams per day. Here, this study was done in 20, post-menopausal woman. You can see the placebo group, the biomarkers stay the same. In the lycopene treated group, in 4 months, it made a statistically significant difference in the biomarker. The biomarker is what is medically referred as NTX, cross-linked N-terminal polypeptide. In summary, lycopene may be beneficial in the management of osteoporosis. Another very interesting area which nobody ever thought of, and the use of lycopene in male infertility. Interestingly enough, the study was done at All India Institute of Medical Science at Delhi. They used 2 milligrams morning and 2 milligrams in the evening. They had a total of 30 subjects, out of which 26 subjects completed the study. 2000 micrograms, which is 2 milligrams. What they found was, after 3 months of treatment, the improvement, sperm concentration has gone up 66%, and sperm motility has gone up 53%, and sperm morphology has improved up to 43%. Very significant data. A similar one was the case with coenzyme Q10. Okay. With the sperm concentration going up, again, oral lycopene therapy may have a role in the management of idiopathic male infertility. The term idiopathic simply means we just don't know what are the reasons for the infertility. So we call it idiopathic infertility. Again, they have used 2 milligrams in the morning and 2 milligrams at night. You don't even need 15 milligrams. That's why I said in some conditions, even 50 milligrams is too much. But unfortunately, we provide only 1 capsule with 15 milligrams, so you cannot break it down and take 2 milligrams. Yeah, skin health. This actually comes under the category of, what do they call that, skin cosmetics? Nutri-cosmetics. You take it internally, but it does benefit for the skin. The study was done on 20 females with a 16 milligram lycopene for 12 weeks. What they were able to show was the skin density improved 7%, while placebo was only 0.3, essentially no change. Then you see thickness has gone up 14%, scaling has come down minus 60%, and roughness has come down minus 33%. Again, it is published in British Journal of Dermatology. Now, this is what I call the feel-good carotenoid. As I was preparing the presentation back in December, there was a paper published from Harvard Medical School. They call beta-carotene as the feel-good carotenoid. People who have higher levels of beta-carotene in the body are always optimistic. They are very optimistic. You know, if you hear the term, some people are incorrigibly optimistic. They must have higher levels of carotenoids. As I said, it was a Harvard study. People with higher serum carotenoids and antioxidants have a higher level of optimism. Wanted all of you have a higher level of optimism. Very good. Now, the biological action, it actually resembles all the activities that lycopene does except one difference: immune support, which is not there with the lycopene. All other activities, cardiovascular support, antioxidant support, anti-cancer, osteoarthritis, memory, skin health. The memory and immune support was not there with lycopene. Everything else was there. The way Mother Nature designed for similar pharmacological activity combined together. And I was telling somebody today, you can go out and buy lycopene today from the medical shop, but have somebody test that one. Lycopene may not be there. I'm not kidding you. I'm not trying to make a sales pitch also. It's the reality. When you open, even from medical shops, you buy the label. You may not have the active in that one, especially in the nutraceutical area. Now, here, beta-carotene in heart disease. It reduces LDL. According to my classification, HDL is good, LDL is bad cholesterol. It reduces the bad cholesterol. Now, again, one of the properties as an antioxidant, it reduces the antioxidant stress, called the oxidative stress. Then beta-carotene improves several markers of immune function. One example being, in elderly, it increases the natural killer, NK cell activity, natural killer. Because as you get older, you are very susceptible to infections. Now, people with good immune function, they will resist them. Then, beta-carotene is also indicated in lung cancer, bladder cancer, breast cancer, esophageal cancer, and stomach cancer. Very, very similar activity like lycopene. A broad spectrum of activity against cancer. Then, again, high intake of beta-carotene shows lower progression of osteoarthritis. None of this is saying that you can keep the doctor away, but you can keep the time far into much longer before you have to get to that hospital stage. And perhaps, given the right amount of nutrition, you may never have it. But some of us, based on our lifestyle, we might get to the hospital much earlier also. Cognitive benefits. Today, we are all very knowledgeable about Alzheimer's disease, things that we forget, and we don't recognize certain things. So that cognitive benefit, it is much in the forefront now. Again, beta-carotene and skin has a major influence in sun protection. You go out and expose yourself to the sun. You know, that's a double-edged sword. People want you to go out and expose to the sun because sunshine, vitamin D, that's how you get your vitamin D. So you have to go expose yourself to the sun. Now you do that, you get sunburn. Okay, especially fair-skinned people get sunburned very fast. However, prevention of sunburn, lycopene helps as a nutricosmetic. Beta-carotene helps as a nutricosmetic. Fortunately, I came to sell you lycopene, but I am telling you it is combined with beta-carotene, so you have no choice but to take it. I could have separated that. I said, no, Mother Nature must have designed it for a reason. Why would I want to mess with that? Again, I am saying 10 to 15 milligrams. Upper limit is about 15 milligrams per day. And we get the same amount of beta-carotene also. Now, in summary, several types of cancer. It can reduce several types of cancer. Antioxidant protection and protect against diseases related to aging, prostate, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, and cardiovascular diseases. Now, this is the reason why I came to call this a master supplement. Really a master supplement. You need to take many supplements to get the benefit of all this. But it's a master one. And again, useful in the management of male infertility due to cosmetic benefits. A lot of good benefits. One single product. Thank you.
I'll request our CEO, Mr. Rajesh Kumar, to please come on the stage, please. And the Managing Director, Mr. Samir Rao, to please on the stage. Now it is time जब हम जो कुछ अच्छा काम किए हैं उनको सर्टिफिकेट दें, सही है? तैयार है आप? जोरदार तालियों के साथ कुछ लोग जो अच्छा काम किए हैं। आज सबसे बड़ा चीज है कि आज हीना बहन एस पटेल, डिप्टी डायरेक्टर। जून डायरेक्टर वर्षा आर लक्ष्मी। जून आचार्य बहन के लिए देसाई, जूनियर डायरेक्टर। यमुनानंदन इंटरप्राइजेज, जूनियर डायरेक्टर। जितने जितने हैं वो आप नीचे
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, isn't that? Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.